lightsaber lore and discussion stuff tends to be a lot more complicated, really, than it needs to be. Everyone wants to talk about what form is the greatest, which one will defeat the other ones, etc., etc., etc. And I'm here to tell you, it's an inane question. And the reason for that is because it's not about, okay, Form 3 is just defense, and it can only do that, and Form whatever, it can only attack, and this one is just really simple and can't do anything, except this one master who could kind of do some stuff with it here or there, and then they're this outlier or something like that. No, it's not about that at all. It's about the user. It's the same question as if someone was going to say, which martial art is better than the other ones? So if someone wants to ask you, what's better, Kung Fu or Karate? Not even talking about the fact that there are different forms of those things. If someone wants to ask you if now Muay Thai is better than shii-cho or anything, it's not the same question. It's not the same thing as really deciding bestness. You know, we're so confused with having our own idea of what bestness is and then having to quantify it in some sort of ridiculous way that we forget the fact that these are arts. And it's very difficult to quantify an art. So in the same way, saying that Form 1 is going to defeat Form 7, or any of these other things, by the way, this was ridiculous. You need to bring the two fingers together for any of these things. But that idea that Form 1 is useless against Form 7, or Form 3 is great until you meet Form 5, or any of this other stuff, and all the other names that people have for them and what they're supposed to specify is ridiculous. Learning all the lightsaber forms, if you were a Jedi or even a Sith or any of these other Force users that might be using a lightsaber, or even just someone who's really good at fighting, is a good idea because they all have different purposes. They're all there for different things. Defense versus being more active. You know, if you want to have all the flippity-flu stuff and everything, you have ones that can help you with that might be good when they're young and help train your body as you get older. Especially if we're talking about more humans and humanoid people and stuff like that. But then saying one is better than the other misses the whole point. You're supposed to learn as much as you can, take with you what works for you, and then you can kind of about the rest of it. You know, some people do really good in one routine than the other, and maybe they specialize in that. And that's fine because that's the way that they express the art. And it's the same thing you can say with the Jedi or anything like that too. Obi-Wan got really good at using the defensive art, and that was where his style was, that was where his whole philosophy and energy was. That doesn't mean that now that form is better than all the rest of them because he was able to defeat Darth Vader twice, including when, before he got all wrecked. So that doesn't mean that now Form 3 is the greatest of all forms because it's the defensive one and allowed Obi-Wan to win. It did that because he was a master of it, and he was that good because he had to work and train more than a lot of other people did because he wasn't as gifted with the Force as some of the other people were. So he had to work on it, and he had to practice it, and he had to do all the things that would take a martial artist to get good at a martial art. So let's please get rid of this idea that one lightsaber form is better than the other one. Let's get rid of the idea that one martial arts form is better than another one or any of that other sort of competitive nonsense and be more cooperative with it. Let's realize that, someone would then in that universe need to learn all of them in order to have a more well-rounded and full education in how to use a lightsaber and how to do the martial arts of the universe as practiced. Right? So, something to say about that. Lala, do you got anything else you want to... Do you got any... No? Baby? No? Okay. See, she agrees. Uh, so that being said, yeah, let's have a little bit more nuanced view of lightsabers and martial arts. There's not a best one. There's not one that will rule them all. It's that yeah, there are martial artists who are better at one skill than another, and then there are people who are just will train harder than other ones too. So yeah, have fun. Thank you. That's my rant for this at the moment. Cheers. Oh yeah, and like may the force be with you or something, and also with you.